Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, press on, has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. Calvin Coolidge. My friends, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, that's what we request in persistence. If you will do that, if you will stay true to the North Star of just staying on it, practice trading all you can, taking the trainings we put out each and every day in the show notes. If you're not signed up at chartingwealth.com, you can sign up for free when you're ready to make the next step and become a Patreon member. Of course, you will then start receiving the 5-day plus ETF trading analysis and execution plan, along with the trade execution summary grid. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks, gold, Bitcoin up, bonds are down. Let's talk about where we are. We see the S&P 500 pushing up to higher highs, a little bit higher. We look at what the high was last week. It was 646.50. This week, 647.37. Things were up in the morning. Looks like a little further up in the afternoon. Don't have any volume there, but it is the summertime, so we don't expect a whole lot of volume, although you can look back and we've had decent volume. Again, I was talking to a friend of mine who has been in the markets maybe longer than me, maybe about the same time. Anyway, we were having lunch and we were talking yesterday, and I asked him about what's been going on, and none of us have a real response for it. I mean, the markets, you can see this just unrelenting up movement since we had that time starting in February, late February through early April, where things pounded down, and then we had mid-April to the end of April, and then things took off and have just gone up, 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 up. What's it related to? Can't really tell you. I know that we're printing lots of money back to buy nothing. And inflation, could it just be inflation alone? Well, could be. Could be. It is curious. I mean, again, at some point in an economy that's healthy, you have up movement, pullbacks. You have the economy surging and contracting. That's healthy. You know, that's like eating food, and then you have to expel the waste, and then you eat more food, and then your energy levels throughout the day. You have a big day with lots of energy, and then you go to sleep. I mean, again, things move in rhythms, not just shooting up forever. So what it scares me about is when there is a contraction, when things do pull back, who's going to be ready? Well, we're going to be here talking about it, and hopefully you will be seeing it in real time, and you'll start to understand. Because right now, again, we've been long for a long time, since April. So let's continue to watch. Up 0.23% for the day. Not a lot of volume so far this week as we go into Thursday. Look at the 2-day candle. We're not even up to half. You can see the average volume dropping. And on the half day, we haven't had average or above average volume since last Friday. Skirting along that weekly trend line, above it on the half day, below it on the 2-day. Where are we on the Qs? The Qs up a little less, 0.15%. And of course, we still have a doji for this week. We're below the weekly trend line. Not a lot of volume. Not a lot of volume on the 2-day. It's below the weekly trend line, as is the half day. Aren't reaching a higher high this week. We can see the previous high back on the week beginning the 11th of August at 583.32. Last week, 577.77. This week, 574.41. So we will keep an eye on the Qs. see if we're going to go into red territory by the end of the week, but is there going to be any volume to support that? We'll wait, we'll see. Who knows? Markets could crash hard or they could jump up before the end of the week and change it all. Right now, we're still long both the S&P and the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, a little more in a coin toss, a little bit more for the S&P. But again, if we're in those trades, we're hanging in there still. What about 20-year U.S. government bonds pulling back? I went ahead and redrew the trend line. You can see we were just tracking up. We had enough to put in. It's not quite horizontal. It ain't much of a trend line, I can tell you that. We are below it on all three charts. We have, 3 dojis in a row here, showing extreme indecision. Tending down, though. We can see that the little trend line is down. It's pretty much horizontal, but it is trending down. And likewise, our trade execution summary grid shows the directional probability is down. A little more in a coin toss, not that much. Backtest accuracy, not that great. But again, we are seeing it move down slowly but surely. Volume the last few weeks is, last 3 weeks, not hit average, gotten up close, and the average is just sort of sliding along. We look at the 2-day, it's not great. It's better than the S&P. It's about halfway there on the latest 2-day. And we see things really pounding down in the morning with lots of volume. It looks like it recovered a little bit in the afternoon. That's where we are on bonds. Gold up 0.20%. Again, another horizontal trend line. It is slowly tracking up. It's staying above on the weekly, pushing above on the 2-day, and pushed above last Friday where gold jumped up. And it's just continued to move up slowly but surely. Again, we are still, we are bullish on gold a little bit. Nothing to write home about. Backtest accuracy is better on the upward trajectory on gold. But again, very flat. When you see a horizontal trend line, it's hard to get really excited. Now, let's lastly move on to Bitcoin. Of course, so far this week, particularly when we saw things jack down on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday recovering a little bit, 0.86% up, we still have a downward directional probability on Bitcoin. Backtest accuracy is not anything to write home about. But again, where we are is moving down. Of course, this week, after last week's red down candle, after the interim high, back on the week beginning the 11th of August, it does look like Bitcoin's taking a break, maybe some profit taking going on there, and it has been pulling back, hopefully to recharge again. It could go down for a short period of time. It could go down for many weeks and then turn back around and head up. But we are bearish on Bitcoin right now. Now, here's where we are. We are bullish on stocks. We are bearish on 20-year U.S. government bonds. We are bullish on gold, and we are bearish on Bitcoin. My friends, we always love to hear from you. You have questions, problems, concerns, write us, cw@chartingwealth.com. If you have any comments, put them in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Help us out with our metrics there. And give us a like if you appreciate what we do each and every day for free for you. God bless.